Beer here back in the Fantasy Bar, big Friday night in MLB, and we're back with 6 of my favorite plays, including my favorite buy low in DFS right now. How about a starting pitcher under 7K on both sites to make life easy on you? What team am I stacking up tonight? And of course, my favorite play of the night, who is it? Belly up to the Fantasy Bar and find out. Welcome in, guys. Friday edition Beers Daily Fantasy 6-pack. Wrapping up the week here with 6 guys fresh off the tap for you on both FanDuel and DraftKings. Thank you, as always, for stopping by and checking out the video. Now, before we get into the plays, as always, guys, first thing, click that thumbs up button. Helps us out tremendously. That's the tip jar here in the Fantasy Bar. Video absolutely free of cost. All you got to do, hit that thumbs up button. Also, make sure you subscribe to the channel. And head over to scoresandodds.com/beer for all of your sports betting needs, guys. Tons of information over there. You can look at odds across a ton of different sports books, or make it easy, premium picks across a bunch of different sports. If you don't have the time to dig in, let us do the work for you. Click the link below the description, scoresandodds.com/beer. All right, let's get into the plays here. Big Friday night slate. We got a lot of weather concerns. We're going to kind of stay away from some of those Midwest games. Looks pretty dicey in spots like Detroit, Chicago, Cincinnati. So we'll avoid those spots, find the dry spots. We're going to start. I said the other day, we don't get many Miami Marlins. We're going back to the well here. We're going to outfielder STARLING Marte. So Miami, never a team you're really going to stack up. We talked about it the other day, but a one-off here or there, I don't mind it, especially in a good matchup, and that's what we have here with Marte against Jon Lester. So Marte this season been locked in against lefties, 450, weighted OBA, ISO over 250. A very good matchup here, pitch-wise as well. We know Lester going to throw a ton of different pitches, but 2 of his 3 primary pitches, we're talking about a WOBA over 400 and an ISO over 300 for STARLING Marte. So no matter how he decides to attack Marte, likely going to be in trouble here, and Lester's had his troubles with righties in general, giving up a 374 weighted OBA and ISO over 200 with fly balls and hard contact at 37 and 33% on those. So Marte in a good spot and a good matchup against Jon Lester. Get him in those lineups here tonight. All right, let's go to the infield here. An expensive bat here, but we'll make up for it later. First baseman Matt Olson of the A's. Oh no, let us down in the B spot the other night, but we got to have a quick memory, get past that. I'm going to go right back to the well here on Matt Olson. Why? Very good against righties. 400 weighted OBA, solid. ISO there as well at 284. Very good fastball hitter. Also, very good changeup hitter. 2 of the primary pitches that Johnny Cueto is going to throw here. So another pitching matchup that I really like here for Matt Olson. Not only that, Cueto has struggled with lefties, as you'd expect. 350 weighted OBA and a hard contact rate at 38%. So Matt Olson, yes, he let us down. I think he responds in a big way and makes up for it here tonight against Johnny Cueto. All right, back to the outfield. Next play for us, George Springer of the Blue Jays. So I don't think we're going to get a ton of ownership here on Springer. We talk about it all the time. People looking at the box scores. What have you done for me lately here? So we'll get the recency bias. We also have the concerns coming off the injury. Has only played a couple games here. Hasn't done much in either of those games. So is it risky? Sure, but these are the kind of plays that we want to throw out in tournaments with the upside Springer brings to the table, especially under 4K on DraftKings. Really like that price here, but let's look at the pitching matchup and the numbers I really want to look at against the fastball. This guy has been one of the best fastball hitters in our game. We're talking about a WOBA over 500 and an ISO even higher. Rarely do you see the power number even higher than the weighted OBA, but that's what we have here with George Springer. 532 ISO against fastballs, and Harvey going to throw that pitch a lot, 43% on average to right-handed hitters. Also has allowed a 427 weighted OBA over the past couple seasons. So we know it's just not the same Matt Harvey it was back in the day with the Mets. This guy has been vulnerable against righties, and it's not only the WOBA, the power as well, 248 ISO allowed, and a big 40% hard contact rate. So Springer hasn't done much lately. I think that bat wakes up in a big way, and he has a big game here tonight against Matt Harvey. All right, starting pitcher time. I promised you a guy under 7K I really like tonight, and we're going to go with Dane Dunning of the Rangers. Now, whether this is your SP2 on DraftKings to save you some money, you pair up a couple cheap pitchers or a way to get an expensive pitcher, get some expensive bats, whatever the case may be, and even on FanDuel, it's going to save you, obviously, and allow you to get more expensive bats. There's a lot of reasons I like Dane Dunning tonight, but the first been very good at home. Now, that last start against Minnesota was not so great, but the 3 before that, 20 or more DraftKings points in every single one of those starts. Now, we look at the matchup with Kansas City. Never a huge strikeout team are the Royals, but we look at their projected starting lineup. We got 6 hitters in that lineup with a 23% or higher strikeout rate against righties, so that's in the favor of Dunning. We also have a very punchless team. The Royals towards the bottom in all major statistical categories against righties, but the big ones I look at, ISO, that's the power, that's the stuff that gets a pitcher in trouble. They're down towards the bottom. WRC plus also in the bottom 10 against righties. Dane Dunning, cheap, risky, of course, that's why he's priced in this price range, but the recent form at home, the matchup with Kansas City, and the ability to unlock bigger bats, a stud pitcher on DraftKings as well. Dane Dunning, my favorite pitcher on the night here tonight against the Kansas City Royals. All right, so where are we spending that money we're saving with Dunning? We're going to go to Los Angeles. We're going to go to first baseman outfielder Cody Bellinger of the Dodgers. Now, this is my favorite buy low, easy. I look at some of these prices. I look at the potential upside here with Cody Bellinger. Feels very similar to George Springer. Just too good of a hitter to be this quiet. So that bat going to wake up here sooner rather than later, and I think it's going to happen here tonight. Let's look at some of the numbers against righties. As you expect the power to be there, almost 250. Weighted OBA 361. Very good sinker hitter as well. We know Arrieta going to throw a ton of those. 440 weighted OBA against that pitch. And Arrieta has had his issues with lefties. 368 WOBA over the past 2 seasons. So a good matchup here for Cody Bellinger. The price at $4,300 on DraftKings. Let's not forget, this is a guy we were paying near $6,000 for at some points last season. And I think we get back to that sooner rather than later. Take advantage here at these prices while we can. All right, it's time to take a look at my favorite play for Friday night. But before we do that, we're going to continue our Beast of the Night contest. All you have to do is get in the comment section right below the video and guess fantasy points on FanDuel for my highest scoring hitter of the 5 bats. I'm going to give you the closest guess to win themselves either a free 3-day pass to RotoGrinders Premium or a free RotoGrinders t-shirt. Let's wrap this baby up. Let's finish the week strong with my favorite play for Friday night. You know him as the Beast of the Night. All right, Beast time. I promised you a stack here. We're going to stay with the Dodgers. We're going to first baseman, second baseman, Max Muncy, tonight's Beast of the Night. Now, Muncy been a regular in this spot. Why? Because the guy always has solid numbers against righties. We get a good pitching matchup here as well with the pitch types. We're going to dig into all of that. Let's look at some of the 5,000-foot numbers here. 392 WOBA against right-handed pitching, 259 the ISO this season. Sinker, we mentioned it with Bellinger. Muncy even better, 489 WOBA against that pitch and 411 ISO. Arrieta throws that about half the time to lefties, so this is not a great matchup for Jake Arrieta, hence why I really like the stack here with these Dodgers left-handed power bats. Arrieta, big hard contact rate as well, 42%, another check mark in the Dodgers column. You're giving up hard contact, you're allowing that sinker to be smashed by these guys. That should lead to some home runs here in this game, and I think that's exactly what we are going to get here. Bellinger, Muncy, 2 of my favorite bats, but Muncy easily my favorite play on the night and tonight's Beast of the Night. All right, guys, that wraps up here for Friday night in the Fantasy Bar. Any comments, questions, feedback, hit me up in that comment section right below the video. Also, fantasy points for my highest scoring hitter on FanDuel for your shot at some free premium from RotoGrinders. And don't forget, go and check out scoresandodds.com/beer. I promise you're going to like what you see over there. Tons of sports betting information to help you guys out. For RotoGrinders.com, I am Beer saying salut. Thank you so much for watching, checking out the video, guys. Good luck tonight. Have a great weekend. See you next week.
Hey, thanks for checking out our videos. If you want more expert advice on DraftKings, FanDuel, or any other daily fantasy sports, make sure you check out the current videos playlist